All right, we have a special treat. Today we are going to be reviewing the Maono HD300T. It's a lot of letters. And we're going to review that microphone and see how it sounds in XLR and USB. So why don't you join me in this next episode of Level Up. Here we go. Okay, so Maono did reach out to me. They wanted to know if I'd be willing to do a review on this guy right here, the Maono HD300T microphone. And I am not sponsored. I am not paid to do this video. I'm not receiving anything. They simply sent out this microphone to me for free, so I would be willing to do an honest review for you. So that's what we're gonna do. The Maono HD300T XLR and USB, and this is enough nursery rhymes for any nursery. I can't do this. I can't. So anyways, about 2 years ago, this was all the rage. Everybody was recommending this as an excellent option for anybody wanting to start a podcast or a live stream. Budget friendly, has everything you need in the package. That was 2 years ago. Not really hearing a whole lot about it right now. So we're going to go ahead and go through this and see if it is still one of the top options for you guys who are looking to start a podcast in 2023. Let's check it out. All right, now I'm using the mic in USB mode. It's very crisp, it's very clear, but I will say just looking at my levels here in OBS for USB mode is a little weak. One of the things you're gonna have to do, you're gonna have to boost that gain through software that has an EQ on it, or if you're using OBS, you have the gain in there and you can just click on properties, go into filters and go to your gain, and I'm able to, let's see here, as we're talking, let me boost the gain up. So testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. All right, so now I'm comfortable. So I've added 10 dB again to get this where I usually like it. I would say right out the gate in USB mode, you're about 10 dB short as far as normal speaking distance for the mic to have it off center, 25 to 45 degrees off to your left or right to help with plosives and give your hands room to get on that keyboard and operate the computer or your laptop as you're doing a live stream. But this is what it sounds like, and I think in USB mode we're missing a little bit more of that low end. I'll have to check in post as I'm editing this video just to be sure, but just from the monitoring I think there's a little less low end in USB mode than there is XLR. So again, you can in OBS or some of those software packages out there, you're able to go in and let's see, let's go into 3-band equalizer. So I got my highs, my lows, and my mids. So I can boost in OBS. I can bump it up. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. All right. So that sounds about good for me as far as low end. It's just in there. It's just kind of peeking its head through. So I've added 10 dB of low end on this. And because the mids are scooped out, if that still sounds a little shallow to you, you can boost in a little bit of mid. So let's see, right here I have it boosted 6 dB for my mids. And then for my highs, I've left it alone. And I mean, if it still seems a little too strong, a little too pervasive on the high end, I'm going to scoop that out just a little bit. So that's -2. So this is what it sounds like in OBS when I go into my 3-band equalizer, which you just click on filters under the audio mixer, and this is what it sounds like. But again, if you want to just go to defaults, this is what it sounds like out of the box, and just with that gain boosted 10 dB. 10 decibels. This is where I really love this microphone, where it really shines to me, and why this to me says, go get me. Number one, on Amazon right now, if you go in and get it, it's $51.99. If you apply the 5% coupon, it goes down to $48.99. So for $48.99, you get the microphone, the shock mount, the pop filter, and a stand that extends up to about 10 inches, which brings it right to that sweet spot as far as elevation from the desktop, countertop, tabletop to where you're speaking. So I like this microphone stand. The Maono PD400X gives you the built-in stand, but as you can see here, there's about 1.5 inches of extension here. And with the Maono PD100 and PD100U, it gives you about 6 inches. But the stand that comes with the HD300 series, that extends out to about 10 inches. And I love it. It's a perfect height for me. It's a perfect placement. I like it. So for $48.99 with the coupon, this is what I love about it. If you want to be able to move around and do your podcasts, this is extremely awesome and robust setup, and it gives you everything you need for your podcast, and it breaks down super easy. And I like to travel light. I have my camera bag right here. It's a smaller camera bag. If it's time to break it down and travel, we're going to fold our laptop down here. We're going to unplug it. I've got my 13-inch M1 MacBook Pro. Slides in the sleeve like so. So now that's in there. And let's just see how quickly I can break it down and fit it in the bag. So as we're talking, I'm just going to do this. So I'm sorry for the handling noise, but I don't want to lose my mic as I'm talking. So the shock mount comes out just that easy. And we're going to unscrew the screen right there. My pop filter and my little rod here that holds it fits comfortably in that same side pocket. It's sitting right here at the bottom, nice and easy. Then I'm going to take my base. And the reason why you're like, well, I can get any kind of base off the internet for $16 and they're not bad. Well, just look at this for a second. Let me, I've done something here. All right, let's see if I can do this. Just look at the difference in the size of the base. Now they are of equal weight. I mean, they're minuscule as far as difference in weight. They're really heavy, a very solid material. So even though it's a smaller diameter, it fits in my bag better than the $16 mic stand you buy on Amazon. I can't fit this in one of my pockets. All right, so now we're taking the rod apart. The rod is now out. We're going to lose some audio here for a second. All right, so just like that, I've broken down my whole setup, and now watch. All right, so I'm going to have we're going to pretend my headphones are in here. I have room for my shock mount in there. My lens and my tripod are sitting in here. My tripod breaks down really tiny that I use in here. All right, so my bag is full. We're zipping that up. And now all I have in my bag is this side pocket, which you can either use for a taller, more robust tripod than the smaller one that I use. Folds up to be about that big, so it fits in one of my sleeves. Close this lid like so. And now all I have left is this little sleeve pocket on the side. I'm able to slide the base, the rod, and then for the microphone, if you're thinking, oh, well, everybody has an SM7B, therefore, when I start my podcast, I need to have an SM7B. Well, it's not very portable. It's not very lightweight. It's not easy to tote around. This does, and it gives you amazing sound out of the box. Plug and play. If you're not good at EQing yet, you're going to have audio that makes you sound like you belong in the podcasting live stream space. What? I mean, for $48.99, you're getting a microphone, you're getting the stand, you're getting the pop filter, and you're getting a shock mount. And it fits comfortably inside of any travel bag, camera bag. So you have the coolest setup. And you want to know just how quick and easy it is to set up? Well, okay, let's say I'm at my location. I'm sitting down and I want to do a podcast. How quickly can I set up? Let's find out. Hello, right? And then again. We are rocking and rolling just that quick. That was my setup for a portable live stream. There is benefits to a handheld when you're trying to be quick and easy and on the go. Okay, so now I'm going to shoot over to my desk over here and plug it into my audio interface so we could find out how this thing sounds in XLR mode. You ever have the moments where you spend 20 minutes recording and then you look up and you go to hit stop and you weren't recording in the first place? Yeah, that happens to all of us, like me just now. Spent 20 minutes recording my final thoughts on this microphone and it's gone in the ether. Yeah, that's my life. Anyways, we're going to start over. We're going to do this again. But hey, now we've had a practice run, so now it should come out a little more natural, eh? All right, eh? What am I, Canadian? Anyways. All right, so this is the Maono plugged in via XLR into my audio interface. It is a Zoom PodTrack P8, and one of the reasons I like this audio interface, why I chose it, was it has 70 dB of built-in gain into it. So if it is a gain-hungry mic, it's going to have plenty of horsepower under the hood to push that mic through, including things like the Shure SM7B. What I noticed in, unlike USB mode, where I really had to push, I think I had to add 10 decibels of gain into my mix via OBS in order to get them levels to dance in the yellow. Only had to do like a maybe 4% boost in XLR mode. I'm looking at it. My levels are wonderful. They're dancing right between the green and the yellow where they're at with a 4% boost in my gain in XLR mode, and that's about it. So not too crazy in the XLR mode. I like it better mix in XLR than I did USB. I feel like there's a little more bass in this mix than there was in the USB mode. So that's really cool. I think out of the box, it's going to get you closer to that unique sound to hit the ground running, plug and play in XLR mode than USB does. They both do, but this does a better job of it in XLR mode. So I prefer XLR over USB, and this is what it sounds like. I feel like you can notice that scoop in the mids. I feel like it's really shallow in the mids, but the bass is there, and the high end is still very crisp and very clear. It's reaching out and it's pulling it out and kind of pushing it into the mix. I think as I'm talking directly into it, the Plosives with the pop filter, Peter Piper packed a pack of pickled peppers, does a good job speaking directly into it. It's got a very unique sound in this way. I think with the Shure SM7B and the Blue Sona and some of those more expensive microphones, the Shure MV7, it's got a very broadcasty sense to it. And that's good if you want to sound professional and you want to feel like you're a professional in the space. But I think what the Maono does is I think because of this mix, it gives you more of that personal sound. And what I mean by that is if I close my eyes and I'm listening to this, this sounds like my real voice every day in this room, not going through a microphone, not going through a mixer, not boosted, not broadcasty at all. And that can be a very comforting sound because, you know, there are nights where I'm up in my studio trying to move things around, set things up, get ready for another video. You could be up here by yourself for a while, and you just want to hear someone's voice, feel like you're not alone, like you got some company. So I'll turn on Twitch streams or a podcast, and I like to go for those live stream podcasts that have a sound like this, where it's a very realistic sound, where I actually feel like someone is in the room with me, sitting on the futon, we're having a conversation, or I'm listening to them talk as I'm working. But it's a very comforting sound, like you're not alone, like you have someone in the room with you. And I like that. And I like how Maono nails that sound. So if you're going for a podcast where you're trying to reach out and feel very personal, like very present in the room, like you're trying to make them feel like they're not alone, like you're trying to feel like you are together with that person, you're going on a journey together, side by side, the Maono does that and does it very well. So I like the fact that it doesn't really shoot for that broadcast, muddy, darker sound. Let's go ahead and add some mixing to this on my Zoom PodTrack P8. I'm curious to see how good it can sound when I mix it just the way I like it for my voice, and let's see how far I have to go in order to do that. So right now I'm going into my mix. I'm going to be turning my limiter and my low cut on. So there is the low cut. It is now on. My limiter is now on in my PodTrack P8. I've now boosted my preamp is already boosted to, I would say, 54%, if that. I'm going to go ahead and turn my EQ on. So now I have my EQ on, and it's in the default setting right now. It's in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of bass because I always like to add a little bit of low end because my voice is really up there compared to others. I don't have that natural deep bassy sound. This is what it sounds like, and now I have about a 5% boost in the low end. I'm not touching the high end. I think it's very good right there. Now I'm going to add some compression and de-esser, and I think compression really does bring this thing home. I mean, what is that? Bringing it home to the way. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And there you go. And just by turning on that compression in my de-esser, that gave it a little more boost as far as gain as well. It's more pronounced, it's more in your face, and I feel like it's capturing more of that low end where you hear the subtleties of the low end of your voice as you're relaxing it. That little crispy, you know, like I am here and I'm right here with you, and I don't even have to talk as loud right now. I can relax my voice. And that's really important if you're doing like an hour podcast. You don't want to have to shout for too long because you're going to lose your voice. You want to be able to talk in a very relaxed sound. Turning that compression on right now and the de-esser did just that. I didn't realize how hard I was pushing my voice before until now. Very comfortable sound. This is a very cool sound, and for $51.99, you can't go wrong because it's not just a mic for $51.99. It's the pop filter, it's the shock mount, it's the stand. A very robust, very professional setup to suit all of your needs, and again, it breaks down and it's super portable. So pros, excellent sound out of the box, excellent price, just wonderful for spoken word. Cons, for instruments, I probably wouldn't recommend this because you can just notice just by spoken word how much the mids have been scooped out, and you don't want to have to lose any of those, your mids, when you're playing instruments. You'd have to do a lot of EQing to try and compensate for that. So if you don't know your way around EQing, that could be a problem. I think this is for gamers, again, because I feel like it's good on the high end. It's so good that it will pull the excitement out of your voice and sit you in front of your mix very easily. And other than that, I think this is just a great microphone all around. 2 years ago to a year ago, this was being touted as an excellent, probably one of the best starting microphones for podcasting because it was the all-in-one kit, gave you everything you needed and great sound. I think a year later, 2 years later, it's a forgotten gem in this market, and especially with 2023 being the year of the podcast. And then you're able to take clips, video clips of that podcast, and post them as shorts or short form content on your YouTube channel, and you're supplying your YouTube channel with video as you're doing an audio podcast. This does it. This is an excellent microphone to do that, to get your podcast out there. A very personal sound, a very present sound. Can't go wrong. This is an excellent microphone. So get yourself one. Those are my thoughts. Thank you for joining another episode of Level Up. The Maono AU HD300T and XLR and USB. I'm so happy that I got through that without stumbling. I'm no Tom Buck. I'm sorry, Tom. I'm trying. You're the leader and the master in this realm. I'm just trying to keep up. But hey, thank you for joining another episode of Level Up. Don't forget to subscribe, press that like button and the notification bell so you guys are notified when future content goes up, because future content. See what happens when you have to say that many initials all at once? It's crazy. The calendar's full. Awesome stuff coming. I can't wait to share it with you guys. So until I see you guys in the next episode,